Hello. Sunday. It's sort of thundery weather. Could get a thunderstorm. So I've put the most waterproof gear I've got on just in case I got caught out, because it looks as if that's the sort of weather we've got. But it is so sweaty because it's quite humid. It is so sweaty. I'm really feeling it already just sitting here, so hopefully get going. It'll be a little bit more comfortable. Just going to go for a little ride out to the coast today. See if I can catch sight of some of the bikes up there. Usually there's quite a few bikes on a Sunday up at Hunstanton, and it's a nice little run out. Nice little pootle. So that's what we're going to do. I'll be able to test out how the mic is doing. I still think it makes a little bit too much noise, so I definitely need to get one of those dead cats so that I can cut out as much of that as possible. I've just tucked it in a slightly different place as well. We'll see how that goes. It's still quite quiet. I know it's a Sunday, but it's still quite a sense of it being not abandoned and deserted, but certainly quieter than normal. Still pervades. So I've had the bike over a month now, and I'm very happy with it. Really happy with it. I think it's just right for me. God, it's hot. It is definitely hot. I'll shut that for you, but might need to keep opening just to get a little bit of ventilation through. It's one of those sort of stuffy days. It's probably not really hot in terms of temperature, probably just hovering over 20, but it just feels close. Bit unpleasant. And the state of play with the lockdown is that tomorrow, Monday the 15th tomorrow, several things change. We've got schools going back, so I will be teaching a 3-hour lesson tomorrow to my year 12s. Hope they all turn up. I think the idea is that I record it for those who can't make it or can't get in, so that there's some sort of record of it. Yeah, so it'll be interesting going back into school and seeing everyone. The arrangements that have had to be made in order to keep people 2 meters apart from each other and keep everyone clean and as safe as possible have been quite extraordinary, really. Everything's been measured up. There's gaffer tape and there's hazard tape and there's little spray signs giving you one-way directions. There's be safe in the classroom signs. There's instructions to parents and to pupils as they arrive in the school. We've got protocols that we will need to follow. And I think the idea is that the students come in staggered. They come in, they go to the room, and then they pretty much stay there for the whole morning, so that we minimise circulation and the chance for them to mingle with each other. So we'll be just interested to see how it all works out. The psychologically, how have they coped? How are they coping? There'll be that side of it as well. Some of them have done quite a bit of work. Some of them have not done as much as I would have liked, put it that way. But it's quite difficult, you know, and they're all in different circumstances. One of them I know has ended up doing quite a lot of like babysitting for younger siblings. One of them doesn't know whether he's going to stay doing the sixth form thing anymore because it's all been a bit much for him. And frankly, some of them just need the teachers as that sort of encouragement, helping hand, guide, because they can't structure the work on their own. They're just not good enough at it. And they're the ones that probably need more help than we thought they would need. So we're entering Castle Rising, lovely little village, just on the outskirts of King's Lynn. Yeah, these are very sticky, these little trousers. They're certainly not the most expensive pair I could have ever had. I think they came free with the jacket, to be honest. Castle Rising's up there. We'll go up there one day. Not today. And straight outside King's Lynn on the way up towards the coast is just beautiful. You know, plenty of trees. The Queen's Sandringham estate is obviously sort of sandwiched in between King's Lynn and the coast. And it really is lovely. I'm pretty sure it was on this little stretch of road coming up here that Prince Philip pulled out in front of a car. So he would have been pulling out of one of these roads to the right, to my right. Because the Sandringham estate is off to the right. Right, are you a nodder or a waver? I tend to be a nodder. I quite like waving. Quite like waving. Get the opportunity. Nodder. I think most people around here are nodders. Yeah, quite a few people going off to the Sandringham estate, which is off to the right now. What a lovely day. I imagine there'll be quite a few bikes up at the seafront today. It's not very far from me. I don't know exactly how many miles it is. Probably 15. I don't know actually. How's the wind noise? How is the wind noise at 60 miles an hour? Just enough to be annoying, I've found, when I listen back to things. Some people manage it, some people, mind you, I suppose they perhaps have better quality, quieter helmets. This is a K-Berg Evo, I think it's called. My brother had this given to him. He was working on it. It's in the building trade, and I think it's brand new. Nodder. And it fitted me. And it's quite comfortable. But perhaps it's a little bit on the noisy side. So the next helmet I get, I'm going to try and find one that is renowned for being quite quiet. I don't think there's any such thing as a quiet helmet though. Not really. Yeah, it's quite busy, isn't it? It's quite busy for considering we're supposed to be locked down still. Nodders. Yeah, most people are nodders. I suppose if you nod first, that's a natural thing to do is nod back. If you wave first, you might get a wave back. I only mentioned this because I was on a Facebook group. I wanted to find out where, you know, little ride-outs in Norfolk were taking place, and so I joined this group, and one of the discussions was how many people are being out and about. Thank you. And people were nodding and saying hello. One of them said, "I'm not a nodder. I'm a waver." Which is fair enough, I suppose. I've decided I must be a nodder. Not one of these people who likes taking their hands off the handlebars unless I have to. I feel safer with them on the handlebars. Yeah, so getting back to, I keep thinking about what school is going to be like tomorrow. I can't help it. So the first third of the lesson will just be, how are you? What are you doing? How have you coped? You know, getting back to talking to each other about what life is like. Funny old noise, wasn't it? I really do feel that people between the ages of, I don't know, teenagers in general, I suppose, must have found lockdown quite difficult. Isolated from their friends, stuck in with the family all the time, probably arguing with siblings, because that's what you do when you're a teenager, don't you? I reckon. Yeah, it must be quite difficult. Nodders. Right, Hunstanton. So it doesn't take long, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Nice little run out. A bit busy today. There's quite a few bikes there. Quite a few bikes parked up just there, look. Near the chip shop. Tide's in. Hope there's not anybody actually. Oh, there's quite a few bikes here, look. There's nowhere to park. These two are going. show them some of them. For an 800cc, tiny little thing, isn't it? Tiny little boy. Little market. There's people on the beach as well. Yeah, it's a popular little place, especially in the summer, especially when we've only just come out of lockdown. I'll go up and round. Quite nice. Rather than just go back straight way, I'll go out towards Old Hunstanton, as it's called. Nice little thing. Yeah, these trousers are going to have to be consigned to the don't wear them in the summer bin. I'd have been better off with jeans on, but the trouble is, it's just not very sensible not wearing any protective gear, is it? Need to get some Kevlar jeans, I reckon. Always need something. My parents, I think when they were courting, decided to meet up here. Let's meet up at Hunstanton. Right, we met up at Hunstanton. Where should we meet? We'll meet on the blue seat. Well, of course, they came. And they sat on the blue seat. I think they were sitting for quite some time before they realised there's more than one blue seat in Hunstanton. I think they've obviously changed the colour scheme now, they're perhaps all the same colour now. But I think it was up here somewhere. Let's meet on the blue seat. They ended up sitting down waiting for each other on these both on different blue seats. Yeah, even when it's a nice warm-ish, and it is quite a nice warmish day today, there's a little breeze always just comes off the sea, just takes the edge off a little bit. It's very pleasant. Yeah, and I didn't go and have a massive look round the bikes because it's supposed to be social distancing and there seems to be a lot of people down there for my liking. But it's nice to see it. So a little zip up to Hunstanton, very nice, very lovely. Enjoyed that. Come here at dusk, you might find that it's the sort of time when you'd see a deer coming out against you. A lot of wildlife around here. Yeah, ever so careful. In recent years we've had loads of these little muntjac deer, sort of Chinese water deer. I don't know what the technical term is. Lots and lots of them. Fearless little things. Yeah, most people are nodders, aren't they? That's the conclusion. Nodders or wavers, I reckon they're nodders. Well, in France they did that real cool thing of just taking your hand off the left-hand handlebar and just waving. But that's because they drive on the other side of the road and you can get away with that. Yeah, so I reckon you could probably cruise along on this 65 before the wind buffeting and the the upper body resistance got a little bit tiring. 60, just below 60 all day long, absolutely. So yeah, it'll be interesting when I end up doing some motorway miles.